Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny. I'm from JennyCardDesigns. Thanks so much for joining me today. My YouTube channel contains content that is intended to share paper crafting tutorials and inspiration with all of you. I hope that you enjoy. Today I'm sharing a Sherberty collection of birthday cards that I'm going to create. I'm going to use this rainbow of cardstock that I have to create some birthday cards. So first up, I'm going to grab my trimmer and I'm going to cut these down across the 8.5 inch side. I'm going to cut these at 4 1/4. So I have 4 sheets of cardstock cut in half. This creates 8 card bases. Once that's done, I'm going to pop these into my scoreboard, and across the 11 inch side, I'm going to score at 5.5 inches. And that will create my A2 size top folding card base that measures 4 1/4 by 5.5. And then I'll go ahead and crease all of those scores, and these card bases are ready to create projects. So I'm just going to separate them into 2 piles. I'm only going to make 4 note cards today. I will save this extra stack of 4 for another set of note cards. So first up, I've got the Simon Says stamp You Matter background stamp. I just want to create a little bit of texture on the card base itself. So I've got this stamp flipped over on its back, and I'm going to ink it up with my JennyCarddesigns soft stone ink. Because the cardstocks that I'm using already have all the color that I need, I want to create just a subtle stamping on them. And so I've also got a scrap piece of paper here, and I'm going to use that to help me stamp my card bases. So I've got my card base here. I want to make sure that it's upright, and I'm going to line it up as best as I can. And I'll lay it on top of the stamp, and then I'll take my scratch piece of paper and press over top, making sure that I don't shift my card base. So I'm using one hand to hold my card base in place, and the other hand to kind of rub around and get that ink transferred onto the front of my card base. It's not perfectly straight, but it doesn't bother me. I'm happy with the results, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp all 4 of my card bases like that. And then I'm just going to grab my cleaning cloth here and clean up my stamp. The next thing I want to do for these cards is create a focal image on the front. And I have this really beautiful set of pennant dies, and it has this gorgeous scalloped border around with stitching in it. And I'm going to leave a link in the description box down below for all of the products that I used here today. And so I decided that the sort of middle flag or pennant banner will be the best for my card base, so that it showcases that color and that stamping without covering too much of it up. So I'm going to grab my Gemini Junior die cutting machine. I've got my die cutting plates here, and I'll grab some white cardstock, and I'm going to use a little bit of tape and tape this die down and run it through my Gemini 4 times. I'll get 4 little scallop borders and 4 little pennant banners. And then I'm going to grab a stamp set here. This is the JennyCarddesigns Natural Silhouette stamp set, and I'm just checking to see if the words on this stamp set that says birthday wishes, I want to make sure that fits on my little banner. And then I grabbed one of those little floral silhouette sprays, and I'll line those up onto my mini Misty stamping tool here, and I'm going to ink up with that same soft stone ink, and I'll make sure I get a good transfer of ink. And there we go. We've got a beautiful little banner with some simple silhouette florals, and it says birthday wishes. So I'm going to do that for all 4 of my cards. I'm going to stamp them all the same. And then I've got a little silicone mat here, and I'm just going to use that to apply my adhesive to the edge of that banner. This way I can get the entire banner covered with tape runner very quickly without having to worry about glue sort of oozing out the sides, and any of the excess tape runner that goes over the sides of the banner won't stick onto my silicone mat. So it's a little neat trick to cover the backs of dies. And so I go ahead and I get this lined up onto the front of my card base in the top center. And then I'm going to grab that little pennant banner and pop some foam squares in behind it so that I've got a little bit of dimension. And then you also see the color of the card base sort of peeking out from underneath the banner, and I like that. So I'm just going to peel off the release paper to these little foam squares and line that up inside of my little scalloped border. And that's going to be it. I'm not going to do anything too fancy. You can go ahead and add a little piece of white cardstock to put on the inside of the card bases so that you have a place to write, and that's it. Here's a close-up look at our finished card project. Now we have 4 quick and simple birthday cards. You can pair them with a coordinating color envelope, wrap them up in a little packaging, or use one of the templates that I've designed to create a little gift box and give them away as a gift. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate the support as always. If you're interested in any of the products I used in today's video, I will leave those linked in the description box down below. Coming up on screen are a couple of videos I think you may enjoy. Thanks again for joining me today. Have yourself a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!